I know y'all saw it. It's been everywhere last week. This is not new, obviously. They've been pulling these type of stunts for the last at least 8 years. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's getting to a boiling point now.
It's getting to a boiling point, nigga. Yeah. The pot is done boiled over to the damn stove. It's running on the floor. It's done.
Okay, you're right. But I didn't know last year there was the Vax That Thang Up with Juvenile. I didn't know who did that, but I knew some shenanigans was going on with that. Dating site behind Vax That Thang Up, get out and vote with no voting, no vucking. I know y'all seen that dating site, Black Dating, where it's a site dedicated to black people meeting each other, forming a relationship.
It don't only be black people on there.
Huh?
It's called Black Dating, but it's not only black people on there.
Well, it's owned by Match.com. I know y'all heard of that one. So the parent company is Match.com, and they gave you an app just for you. It's like, because the data came out about black people not getting chose on dating sites. So they said,
black people not getting chose?
Yeah. They told you, remember the data came out and they showed that the responses to people was lower amongst black people.
Okay.
So they said, all right, we're going to give you an app just for you, just so you can
and then they put other people on the app.
And then other people come to the app.
So you still won't get chose because black people won't choose black people. They'll choose somebody else that's not black.
Well, you have the percentage is more likely you're going to have to choose your own.
I'll never forget. I was in this was a black chat thing on Google. It was for black people. There was a white dude in there, and I said, what are you doing in here? This is for black people. You know that the black people turned on me and told me, leave him alone. This is black women, by the way.
That's how it go. They wanted him there. He's the validation.
They ready for me to leave.
Yeah, they were trying to get you out of there. You need to go.
They were like, you the everyday flavor of the month. We can get you anytime.
2 at a time. So Black enlists Trina and Saucy Santana for a spicy midterm anthem.
No.
Now the levels of this. Okay.
You want to go?
Yeah, you go first.
No, you go.
Okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of this. Black, a dating app for black singles, has released a music video to encourage young people to vote. The anthem, no voting, no vucking, features Trina and Saucy. We saw that. Created by Majority. The video is follow-up to last year's popular vaccine campaign, Vax That Thang Up, starring Juvenile, Mannie Fresh, and Mia X. I know y'all saw that last year. We know there's a lot riding in the 2022 midterms, and we know the power that your youth vote wields when motivated, says Jonathan Kirkland, head of marketing brand at Black. We wanted to pair a rising superstar with an iconic legend, creating a duo that delivers a poignant message.
Legend?
I guess Trina. She just got an award at Hip Hop Awards, hosted by a non-black man in Atlanta.
So she got a hip hop award. Now she's an iconic.
She's
legend.
iconic. Yeah.
Okay. She has an iconic picture that Kaya posted that none of us will never forget.
Poignant messages with sexiness and playfulness to inspire more young people to turn out and vote. So, okay. I'm going to show a little bit of this. Not much.
Yeah. Straight tracks, I think we got one.
It's voting season, bruh.
No voting, no loving.
See, this is why people out here asking if Meg Thee Stallion is a man.
Damn, how you bring Meg up?
Because y'all let things like this get attention, and then
the dude got a full beard. Like,
what he represented Baphomet. Look at this shit.
I'm gonna get some stuff, y'all. Just hold on. All right, so Trina does a little worse, and then they talk about. Now, let me say this. When you first see this, the first thing you think of is, wow, this is what they think of black people. Black, in the sense of they think the only way to convince black people to vote is through sex.
This is what they think of black people or black men?
Hold on, I'm about to get to it. Then when you actually listen to this song and look at what they're doing in the video, the song is not towards black men. The song is towards black women. In this song, they're telling black women, don't have sex with black men until they vote. This message is not to black men. It's not to them. It's not
Well,
meant for you.
They claim they're not getting chose no way.
So it's one of those situations where they have, in this society, when it comes to politics especially, they have tried to make a scenario where black women play the role as manager over black men. So when you hear them say stuff, when you see them do stuff like this, it's not a surprise no more. Like when they go get a bunch of strippers to tell black
Get your booty.
to tell black men, get your booty to the poll, and get a bunch of strippers shaking their ass telling you how to vote, what voting do. It's like
Like
you're so dumb and uninformed.
just
We
not
need to
intelligent.
we got to put ass in front of you so you'll pay attention
Because you'll follow the ass to
to the poll
the poll.
and vote for who we tell you to vote for. Because it's not enough that you vote. You have to vote the way we want you
Democratic. We want you to be a liberal and a Democratic.
to vote. All right, so what you about to say?
No, I didn't say it. It's embarrassing.
And then the other side of it, you go get a homosexual man in the video to tell women not to have sex with men until they do what you want them to do. What they do.
He don't want the women having sex with the men because he want to have sex with the men. See, that's what I be saying. They keep their eunuchs around them, and they not really there for you.
They not.
They there hoping you leave the room, and he done drunk a little bit, and he mistake, and something happened.
Joyce said, Travis is chosen. I'm about to be sick. I've been said Stallion is a man. They got trans
Hold
flags
on
in the
now.
background of WAP.
I never said Meg Thee Stallion was a man, George.
Joy, hey, you took it to the next level. You just
I
took it there.
never said Meg Thee Stallion is a man. I said people wonder why people say things like, is that a man? Because you have black women out here letting men dress them.
Yeah,
These
put their
drag,
makeup on and tell them how to look. Yeah,
they're dressing like drag queens.
pretty much. Yeah.
They go get these makeup artists who are men and let them dress them, and they dress them how they would want to look.
And then
It's-
they live vicariously through them.
You're best at your natural.
Exactly. So obviously just got some backlash and some support somehow.
It shouldn't have got some backlash. It should have got all the smoke.
You would think it would. Now this is
Speaking,
Now-
speaking, of course, Michelle.
now remember, Black is associated or sponsored by When We All Vote. Or at least that campaign is sponsored by When We All Vote. They have came out and denied that When We All Vote had anything to do with the music. Let me make sure I point that out. They said they had nothing to do with the music video or the marketing campaign as far as the video and the song. They are only sponsored by them through this campaign of voting. So let me say that. But it's not a surprise that this is associated with it. This is a campaign or an organization that was started by Michelle Obama in 2018, where she tried to rally up and get, in particular, Black people to vote the way she feel they should vote by using, the shenanigans to convince them. Now you see here, these are the people that are co-chairs of this group. You got Michelle Obama, Stephen Curry. I don't know who Becky G is. Selena Gomez, Tom Hanks, Lisa Koshy, Jennifer Lopez, Lin-Manuel Miranda, Janelle Monáe, Chris Paul, Megan Rapinoe, Shonda Rhimes, ooh,
Spicy.
Bretman Rock. Is that a man?
That's a man. That's a man.
Kerry Washington and Rita Wilson.
Kerry Washington. Sad story about her.
What's the sad story about her? Don't get scared now. Say what's on your chest.
Just sad.
Okay. Now, dude who this is also tied with Civic Nation. They also are tied with this. As you can see, the people who sponsor Civic Nation,
Uber,
Comcast, Microsoft,
Lyft.
Uber, DoorDash, Lyft, Visa, NBA.
I'm gonna say it like Stacey Dash. Channels like BET.
Viacom, BET, MTV, Alliance for Youth Action. I'm pretty sure that's the company, that's the place that's associated with Black Lives Matter. I might be wrong. Eliminating Racism, Empowering Women. That's out of Seattle. King and how you say that? You always say it better than I can.
Snohomish.
Snohomish. Yeah. So now, the person who Nah, I can't. He deleted it?
Wow. See, I done told you over and over to screenshot shit.
George said Mega Man.
Leave Meg.
Regina
Yeah.
said Will Smith emancipation. When I say my first thought was finally from boule rituals, perhaps you were sacrificed, now you've elevated.
I said the emancipation part in my mind was about him being
Elevated. Yeah, you can. They did the same thing. Well, they had this thing in Hollywood where they destroyed someone's image to build him back up. You know, like the Phoenix rising from the ashes. They did it with Chris Brown.
Did he rise back from the ashes?
He did. Remember, he did a Michael Jackson performance. That was his moment right there.
The ashes still on him though.
Well, yeah. After a while, they done with him. He's not part of a record deal no more. He's an independent, so they done with him. But a lot of people they'll put something out about them to make their career damage their career, and then they'll like look at.
So maybe you just got to reload that. I don't think he deleted it. I think you just got to log back in because you were out for so long. You don't need to log in.
That's the point. I wasn't logged in. Hold on. Let me.
I have an account.
Hold on. Let me go back. This is him right here.
Just copy paste his name and
That's
put
what
it
I'm about
in.
to do, nigga.
I'm not your Negro.
Oh Lord, don't say that. All right, this is the guy who runs this. He's the one who came up with it. Now look who he used to work for. He obviously worked for Black Now, the dating app. He worked for Bumble, Grindr,
Grind on me.
Veggie Inc., iHeartMedia.
Who with iHeartMedia? Charlemagne the God.
You got a lot of people at iHeartMedia. You got Current TV. You got a lot of places he worked there. Viacom, obviously he worked with them. Sales assistant at Lifetime Television.
He was at Lifetime?
And he went to HBCU, NC, A&T.
He went to North Carolina A&T.
Yes.
Wow. And then, of course, he was associated with
a lot of fraternities. Yeah, let me show that. Make sure I show that. Look.
We know that's
all these Masonic groups, these Greeks, as they call themselves, the Black Greeks.
Yeah. That's Boule.
It's very. Now, Match.com, who I told you, they are the they run or they're over dating black app. You know they banned Match.com for portraying negative gender stereotypes. The video shows a woman saying she's a keeper doing all sorts of chores and tasks for the man. So they showed a woman, you know, doing wife.
So being a taking care
of the home and nurture. They said that was a negative stereotypes.
You know what? It was an old. Oh, George's gonna say I'm lying. I can tell one story a week. There was an old white lady. She was sitting across from me. I had on my all blue Nike tracksuit.
Uh-huh.
And she said, "Wow, you look good." And I looked at her. She said, "I can say that I'm older." And she said, "You know what? What's going on with everything? Everything is going to shit. Women are not being home providers anymore. They're making more money than men. I never told my husband he was alive how much money I made. I always downplayed it to, you know, just always make sure that he felt, you know, like he was the man."
Yeah.
But she just said, "Everything is just gone to shit now."
Regina said, no voting, no bucking. I asked my mom last night if she thinks everyone in Hollywood is their gender is reversed. Just in looks alone, she agreed.
Well, who looked like, besides the obvious, like Michelle Obama? Who would you be absolutely shocked?
Who was it? It was somebody. Oh, Eminem.
Oh yeah, I said Eminem was a woman.
Y'all ever looked at Eminem and just looked at him really?
He looked like a woman.
Maybe it's because of the beard. She also said the FBA 88 argument. I agree with you guys on Planet with dark to light for the corners in the beginning, all shades. Yeah. Travis Shore be bossing up around Duke. You gonna talk like that? Best break him off with that Draymond effect and make him feel the Jordan lifestyle real. Yeah, Draymond knocked the shit out of Jordan Poole. But yeah, this is crazy. I didn't even know TikTok was banning people for stuff. I thought you can get banned for like cursing and doing inappropriate stuff. I didn't know. Like they was on it like this. Huh?
They'll ban you for anything that's not promoting their agenda that they want to be promoted.
They all do that now. There's nowhere is safe. Now this is Bishop Talbot Swan. Once again, we talked about him before. I don't agree with some of the stuff he say. But he made good point. He made a good point on this right here.
Who
Let me
is
show
he?
it. Huh?
Who is he?
You probably don't know him, but I brought him up before.
Remember the 2020 election when we had to look at this garbage?
Get your booty to the pole, get your booty to the pole, get your booty to the
On the ballot, right?
The message was clear that the only way to get black men to the polls was to sell it to them with sex. That we don't have the veracity, the intelligence, the responsibility to exercise our constitutional right to vote. And the only way that you could get us to the polls was by showing us big booties. 2 years later, we got this garbage.
Oh, you know what they brought in? I said this in 2020. I don't think they want black men in particular to vote for them. We can't say what we want to say about 2020, but some things happen at midnight. We can't go any further. I believe they
rabbit out of hat. Hey,
rabbit out of hat, that magic trick. I believe they want black men to not vote for them so that when they win, they can say, see, we don't really need that vote. So they can not even need, they won't need to address anything that's affecting you negatively. They don't want to have to address it because there's so much shit going on with you. It's just like, we just gonna have to leave that one alone. We're gonna have to go back and apologize for a lot of stuff.
too much to unpack.
It's so much going on that we've done. We're gonna have to leave that one alone. And
Wow.
it's also in a way, it's also, they look at black women and think no matter what we do, you're gonna vote for us. So we can actually parade you around in a sexual way to your man, and you won't feel disrespected by it.
Promiscuous.
We can put that image of you that way, and some of you will just be okay with it. Because you think it's more of an attack on him.
It's an attack on the whole
It's an attack on the
race,
whole community.
So
On Facebook, I had random posts of positive experience, black people doing great things. The articles were blocked, but the title still showed. Facebook said the deleted articles goes against the community policy. Damn.
a lot of that's gonna be going on.
So you can't even post positive stuff? Damn.
Midterm election.
Now, I don't know if y'all remember this woman. This is a woman named Brittany Cooper. She got known when she defended that play, that slave play mess that came out with the black dude who created it. She defended it for a whole weekend. And that Monday, she got a blue check. And everybody said, you really earned that blue check this weekend.
You see, she cheesing.
So this woman, this is what she said in 2020. She said, I'm reminded that in the 19th century, black women used sex strikes to make sure that brothers didn't vote against black interests, which is to say there's always been a rogue black male element among us, and sisters have always been on point. Anyway, I've said enough today. This is not true, number one. Back in those days when black men were fighting to vote, the black man was voting for the community at that point. He wasn't even allowed to vote as an individual because he's the only one that could vote. Women couldn't vote. So when the black man voted, he voted for the interests of the entire community. If he didn't, it would affect him as well.
I'm not surprised.
The narrative they push now to create this bullshit divide is insane. And it's only a small group that's doing it.
Like
But it gets
Professor
the loudest.
Neckbone over here.
Huh?
Talking about Professor Crump.
Yeah.
Professor Neckbone. Give her a neck bone, she'll shut up.
I'm about to say something I can't say.
Say it.
I ain't gonna say that. I'll say this. What they call it? How do you say it? Pull a trick. I don't forgot it. I don't fucked it up. Never
Just
mind.
move along.
Yeah, let's move on. I don't fucked up. I'm about to say something, but I ain't gonna say it. All right. Now listen to this. This is Jennifer Lewis. I know y'all know who Jennifer Lewis is.
She's the mother of the black.
The mother of the Black Hollywood.
Yeah,
one of the mothers. You got Angela Bassett, Jennifer Lewis.
Well, she was Angela Bassett's mother in What's Love Got to Do with It.
Yeah.
So she's the mother of
She's
the
a
mothers.
mother of Black Hollywood. One of the mothers. And I was so heartbroken. Well, I wasn't heartbroken. I'm lying.
I wasn't heartbroken.
I found it funny that So she's trying to promote Stacey
Why
Abrams.
she in red and black?
What you mean? Why she in red and black? That's the
Just
Masonic
throwing it
colors.
out there.
She in Hollywood. She wearing red and black.
Okay.
That's what they do. They witches and warlocks. All right, let me show this.
When Stacey Abrams calls, you don't hesitate. When Stacey Abrams calls, you go to Georgia State. We campaign because we love her. She's Georgia's next governor. Stacey is the truth. So get to the voting booth.
We didn't learn our lesson, did we? Y'all was out there just electric sliding for Joe Biden. And that video is hilarious. You know that girl who was
She was getting down
she
too.
was getting down. Y'all was dancing for Biden in the streets, which we know was orchestrated because they came out and admitted that
That was
they
in
hired
New
people
York.
to go dance on camera in order to celebrate Joe Biden's election. But that's besides the point. Y'all have been dancing and playing music to these people, and they always disappoint you. They always disappoint you.
Wasn't there electric slide in New York?
Yeah.
You know,
Like, here you go.
no, they didn't want Trump in there because Trump was about to start making their baby father not pay
mothers-
child support.
Baby mothers and baby fathers gonna have to get deported.
The baby mother got together and said, we got to get Trump out of here. But man, she looked good for her age, though.
Oh, look at you.
She
You want
don't
to
look
change
she
the
has
topic?
aged at all. She looks good for her age.
Well, black don't crack. That ain't the point, though.
I just had to give her a compliment.
Stacey is the one. She gets the job done.
How you doing, Keefer? Yeah, another puppet.
Oh, Kiefer came in when I was giving a black woman a compliment.
She gets the job.
Oh, yeah, if you go back and so rewind this a little bit, if you weren't here, he got some words for you.
I didn't say nothing.
Not
I've been
about
good
you, but-
today. I'm not being. I was called out for being disrespectful about talking about
Lizzo.
Lizzo pork chop.
Oh, Lord, you gonna stop.
She's full of energy though.
She's full of energy, but you use your gifts for the wrong
She
thing.
could be a beacon of light on the community, but she chooses to use it
Stick with the darkness.
for the darkness. What a shame.
All right, let
Could
me
be a
show.
beautiful light.
All right, now listen to this. Now, this is how you know that a lot of these network television shows, and they're starting to go to these spaces on Twitter and Clubhouse and go to these YouTube channels and people with these audiences and starting to hear what they're saying and using those talking points on mainstream television so they can make it seem like
They're going to the new black media.
they're going to new media to get the talking points so they can get on television and sound like they know what the hell going on. Oh yeah, we understand.
We
this
on
is
these
what's really
streets.
going on. And I guess you should do that on a certain level, the research and knowing what's going on and get an understanding of the grassroots, what they're saying. But you're not actually agreeing with it. You're just using it to look like you know what the hell going on. Let me show what he had to say.
I had dinner with a friend of mine, and he was saying that there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect because he's like, you know, you're here in D.C. and everybody's so important, and you know, you are talking to members of Congress and administration officials. It's a disconnect between your conversations and what's happening out here in these streets.
Yes.
So how do we bridge that gap? Because I don't feel disconnected from the streets. Like you're I'm you, and you are everywhere I am. You are.
Mm-hmm.
But some people feel like, yeah, this politics and policy, it doesn't impact me. It doesn't touch me. And when I look to the
Go.
Congressional Black Caucus to do something, what are they doing? How are they supporting
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
me? And I always try to explain what they're doing, but maybe you
Here comes the bullshit.
Here go George. Big bloated whale is what Travis was saying about.
I didn't say
BBW.
nothing. He said what?
Big bloated whale is what Travis was saying about BBW.
can do a better job.
We need to be out there in those streets.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I always mention Yonkers, Mount Vernon, the Bronx, and New Rochelle when I go on mainstream media is because I want people in my district to recognize there are black folk in my district who are struggling and have been historically struggling. So I make it a point to go into Eden Wall projects and to go into the black communities to really listen, learn, and understand what's going on. Plus, these are communities that I come from, so I feel more comfortable there. I have to also mention this about this particular legislative conference and to the point you just made. There's classism in the black community, and we need to talk about the classism.
Now, I know for a fact, this is a talking point. I just finished last week's episode, laughed my ass off. What up, Juice Man?
What is okay? Is BBW big
Beautiful woman.
woman or a big black woman? Because I thought it used
It
to be.
depends on the race. If it's a black woman, it's big black
So
woman.
if it's all women, it's big beautiful woman. If it's black women, it's big black woman.
Or black beautiful woman.
Or black. Okay.
I don't know.
What did George call the big white women that he be with? What is his name for those women?
George, you got to answer questions. But yeah. Now, I know that talking point he just used right there about the classism in politics or in black America, where he's talking about a lot of these people that speak for black people and on television come from these suburban. Well, there's nothing wrong with having a good upbringing, by the way. There's nothing wrong with being able to, your family was able to provide for you and send you off to college. The point is, a lot of these people that grow up in the suburbs, they go to college, they get their first understanding of what quote unquote blackness is in America, and now they think they deserve to speak
That's
for the
not true
entire
for
community.
all.
I'm not saying all. I'm not saying all. Why you assume I'm saying all?
Well,
I'm talking about the
because
ones on these TV, on
Okay.
television, the ones that are associated with these sororities and fraternities, the ones that are in the know. What Kwame called them, the go along, get along gang is what I'm talking about. They feel like they have the authority to speak for you. We used to call them the talented 10th, the boule. You know, this is who a lot of these people are. So when he says the elitists, when you're talking about boule at that point.
In the black community, and we need to address it head on. Just because I got degrees or I go to a certain church or I'm a part of a certain fraternity or I went to Ivy League or private school, it doesn't make me an elitist.
Right.
It doesn't make me more privileged. Or
See what you just said? Because I went to private school and grew up in, doesn't make me elitist. Well, no,
But
it doesn't.
They classify themselves as elitists.
Who?
The boule.
That's what I'm saying. But he's saying that to seem like, oh, I'm one of the people. Well, you could be, but not a lot of y'all don't speak that way. I mean, if you got a person in front of you who didn't have your education and your background, and they told you they disagree with you, you'd be said because they're not informed.
If the boule had it, they would have eugenics on the black community.
Well, they definitely agree with
the-
it. They agree with
The
eugenics.
finest
Yeah.
of the black people.
Yeah, that's what they believe.
someone that can look down upon, especially our people,
Yeah.
because our people still suffering. If we don't uplift them, they will never be uplifted. So we got to deal with the issue of classism. One way is we might want to change the dress code a little bit for the next conference, because I don't want to see brothers and sisters from the hood who have never been to this conference before.
So he clapping with his hands.
I told you that they
He doing
changing
all
the
his
energy.
hand movement.
They're trying to change the energy to seem like
He
they're
ain't said shit. He ain't said what the Black Caucus do.
no.
I'm still waiting on it. He just talking in circles and riddles.
We just got to get him in the
Riddle me
room,
this,
make him feel
riddle me that.
comfortable. You know, that's what he's saying.
He trying to sound like that black Michael Dyson. He rapping and spitting balls. Yeah, that's what he trying to do.
Yeah, Michael H. Dyson be spit. He be rapping on
He a
people. boy.
spitter.
He
I
don't be
wouldn't
saying.
wanna- he do 16. I wouldn't go after him.
Listen, he be saying all these words and he don't be saying shit. He don't be saying nothing. You be like, what the hell are you talking about? You just said 30 words. You could have addressed in
Brother,
5.
all I said was go get me a glass of water.
You could have you used 30 words to say that, nigga. What the hell?
We need to bring them to the conference.
Yeah, I think that would make such a difference, because if the streets don't feel like Congress comes to
The streets.
Well, she from the streets.
Oh yeah. She I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna leave that alone.
She got this.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
them, then come to Congress.
They come to-
You're a
yeah.
big enough voting block and a large enough, harness your power that it should matter. They should feel
incredibly
welcome.
powerful as black people.
If we weren't, they wouldn't be trying to take our
is
votes.
incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
The CBC
If we
worked
won't,
more.
they wouldn't be trying to take our votes.
Huh?
She said if we weren't, they wouldn't be trying to take our votes.
Who trying to look, man?
We trying to take black people votes.
I ain't listen.
We tired of the bullshit.
I don't know nobody who couldn't vote. That's all I'm
Now.
saying. Like right now, any black person who wanted to vote that I know could vote.
Unless you're a felony.
Unless you're a felon. Supposedly, you're supposed to be able to get that sponge taken off after 7 years or whatever, but that don't work
But,
all the time.
Black people can't go vote. They can't go get a ID, driver's license. They can't do anything for themselves.
We gotta just make things easier for them.
Just let them vote. They don't need to have a driver's license.
And the reason why they don't want you to see, listen, this is how they play the game. They don't want you to have an ID because then they would have to force the illegal immigrants,
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Mexicans to get, and all them to have to get an ID.
Your brown counterpart.
See, they're using you to help them. Because when they write an article saying, yeah, these people coming across the border shouldn't need to be citizens to vote, you'd be like, what? But if they tell you, hey, these black people, they shouldn't need to prove they're citizens. This is their country. You were like, yeah, okay. So they're using you to get them in, as they always do with every movement.
Once we start to harness that and leverage that, then we can help this country become what it's meant to become, and we're not there yet, obviously.
And some people think the Congressional Black Caucus is the caucus that settles everything for black people, but a lot of members represent districts that are majority white even. You know, it just happens to be this caucus that tries to fill in the gaps in the conscience of the Congress, as they're affectionately known.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yes, we should be focused on black issues, absolutely, but you have to first be responsive to what's going on in your district, right? So
your constituents.
You got to serve your constituents to the best of your ability. Absolutely.
Then why not go be in a black district?
Well, if you're a person who ran for office in a majority white district, I mean, you grew up there, right? So
why would you want to be a part of the black caucus?
Why go into politics if you don't even have people that you can affect local? The people you locally you affect, that's white people.
So this is the excuse that he's making right now.
Yeah, exactly. Virginia said more like exploit black people's vote. Exactly. We need you to get out there because we need you to vote a certain way. We're looking like we're going to get washed this midterm. So, you know, we don't want to have to blame you, but if we do,
I can't say that on YouTube because they might say that I'm promoting
disinformation,
nuclear
misinformation.
warfare. Because I was going to say they shouldn't get washed. They should get...
You know it's bad when you can't say the word because you...
Somebody just got nuked, so I can't, put it in the sentence together.
Yeah.
But we also have to keep an eye on what's happening collectively across the country with black people. And if we're not dealing with real criminal justice reform...
Let me tell you something. Do y'all agree with me that...
So he clapping his hands and punching his hands. Now you clapping.
Yeah, now I'm doing it. I'm doing it to him. Answer this question.
How they be following these people?
If you had a list of the things most important for black people in America, would criminal justice reform be number one? Because they make that number one. I'm gonna ask you, do you think it would be number one on your list?
No.
Because I mean, most people I know, they went to jail because they did something.
Yeah.
I'm not, listen, I get it.
There go, George, you gonna call Duke out for being a slave master?
Listen, yes, there are a lot of black people who end up in jail. They were innocent. They were lied on, cheated. I know.
But some would say, why are the people that are in jail or in prison is because of the life they grew up, in the area that they were. If they were under better circumstances, would their life have been different for them?
I'm not saying the guilty people who grew up bad. I'm talking about the people who were innocent and didn't do it. I know those people exist who were actually innocent, just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they got rolled over.
You know anybody?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
I know that everybody I know that went to jail, they earned it. And some of them needed it.
Damn.
That's just truth.
Wow.
You gotta keep it real. Some people needed to be in jail. Jail is necessary in some cases. I'm not saying you should be arrested for a lot of the stuff people get arrested for. A lot of the laws in this country are just meant to criminalize so they can get as many people in jail system so they can make money off of you through the prison industrial complex and have you doing free labor. Whether they have you putting out fires, building houses, building volleyball stadiums for Brett Favre, all type of shit. I'm just saying, should that be number one on the list for black people? All right, that's my point.
If we're not dealing with...
What do the people in the comment section think?
I don't know. I think they ignore me.
I
think they ignore me. No, I'm joking. But what about you?
What?
You think it's number one?
I said no, it's not number one.
Okay. So I'm not alone then. Why are you acting like I'm...
You gonna start singing Michael Jackson, You Are Not Alone? That's what you want to do?
With real economic empowerment, if we're not dealing with real reparations, if we're not talking about health and wellness in a real way, day by day, not just at the conference, every single day, then we're going to continue to push our people away and marginalize them.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, now we're done with the bullshit.
All right.